Clark was showcased among other athletes, superstars, Jokić, Shedeur Sanders, Jason Tatum. So if you guys haven't heard by now, Caitlin Clark was recently snubbed from Time Magazine 100 Most Influential People. A lot of people talked about it.
But here we are. Caitlin Clark was not on that list. Now, let me understand this, okay? Caitlin Clark exploded ratings.
The Caitlin Clark in new Gatorade ad. And it's like a lot of past athletes and the athletes of today. And yeah, man.
Did you see Caitlin Clark's new Gatorade commercial with Kendrick Lamar? The internet is going crazy over this 30-second spot that has Clark sharing the screen with NBA stars like Nikola Jokić and Jason Tatum. But that's not even the biggest story.
Clark did have the benefit of being in college when she attracted the national spotlight. Well,
Serena Williams just came to Caitlin's defense over that controversial Time Magazine snub that had basketball fans losing their minds.
And it looked like Serena Williams did not hold back about Caitlin Clark during her Time Magazine interview. And
this is bigger than basketball now. We're watching a superstar being born right before our eyes. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. You know what's crazy? Caitlin Clark isn't just changing women's basketball. She's changing the entire sports marketing world right now. When you land deals with Nike, State Farm, and Gatorade before you've even played your first professional game, that's not normal. That's what happens when you're a cultural phenomenon who's bringing millions of new eyes to the sport.
Caitlin Clark has several impressive brand deals with globally renowned companies. Among the most notable ones are Nike, State Farm, and Gatorade.
Let's talk about this Gatorade commercial for a second. Gatorade doesn't just put anyone in their commercials, especially not with Kendrick Lamar's voice backing them up. They picked Caitlin to stand alongside NBA champions and NFL stars because they recognize what we're all seeing. She's not just a rookie, she's a movement. She's bringing the kind of attention to women's basketball that marketers dream about.
The Caitlin Clark in new Gatorade ad. And it's like a lot of past athletes and the athletes of today. And yeah, man.
The commercial itself is breaking the internet for a reason that goes beyond basketball. It places Caitlin right alongside Nikola Jokić, Jason Tatum, and other elite male athletes as equals. Think about how rare that is.
So this is the new Gatorade commercial here, man. Caitlin Clark had a small cameo in it.
We almost never see female athletes marketed on the same level as their male counterparts. But here's Clark, sharing the spotlight with NBA champions and being presented not as good for women's sports, but simply as an elite athlete, period.
Caitlin Clark had a 2-word summary of the Gatorade commercial. Now, they was playing Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, in the commercial too as well. Clark was showcased among other athletes, superstars, Jokić, Shedeur Sanders, Jason Tatum.
What makes this commercial hit different is how it captures Clark's essence. The message about measuring wins through sweat perfectly mirrors her reputation. Fans aren't just connecting with her shooting range, they're connecting with her work ethic. The girl shows up at 5 a.m. to practice. She's not just talented, she outworks everyone, and that's what resonates with people across the country. When Clark described the commercial as never satisfied, she wasn't just throwing out a catchy phrase.
Yeah, so this is the commercial right here, y'all. So Caitlin Clark commented on it, never satisfied.
Those 2 words perfectly capture her entire approach to the game. After breaking records, she's looking for the next challenge. After winning, she's looking for what she could have done better. It's that mindset that's taking her from college star to household name. But here's where things get interesting. While global brands like Nike, State Farm, and Gatorade are rushing to sign Clark, Time Magazine completely left her off their 100 most influential people list.
So if you guys haven't heard by now, Caitlin Clark was recently snubbed from Time Magazine 100 Most Influential People. A lot of people talked about it.
How does someone who's breaking viewership records and changing the entire conversation around women's sports get ignored like that? The social media reaction was immediate. Fans weren't just disappointed, they were suspicious. One fan straight up called it what many were thinking. I don't know why we even support Time anyway. They purposely left her off to engage publicity.
The magazine does this just to modern day clickbait because they no longer have the same reach that they used to.
Think about that. Even Clark's exclusion from a list drives engagement and controversy. That's how impactful she's become. Some fans think Time deliberately snubbed her to generate clicks and controversy. And honestly, that theory makes sense.
Like it's just nonsense to not even, I don't know, man. They just do stuff like that on purpose, bro.
Whether they include her or exclude her, people are going to be talking about it. That's the definition of influence. When your presence or absence creates waves. The Time magazine controversy perfectly illustrates the obstacles Clark still faces. Breaking records and changing the game isn't always enough to get the recognition you deserve, especially as a female athlete.
But here we are. Caitlin Clark was not on that list. Now, let me understand this, okay? Caitlin Clark exploded ratings.
But here's the thing about Clark that makes her special. She keeps pushing forward regardless. While the debates rage online, she's in the gym, proving her worth where it matters most. What's fascinating is watching the perfect contrast develop. Some media outlets might overlook her impact, but both global brands and basketball legends see exactly what makes Clark special. When companies like Gatorade place her alongside Jokić and Tatum, they're making a statement that goes beyond marketing. They're acknowledging her as a game changer in the sport. The commercial features NBA stars alongside Sanders and Wilson, effectively putting Clark in the company of champions before she's even played her first professional game.
The commercial seems to operate around the tagline wins are measured in sweat loss. Asia Wilson, everybody, bro. I thought this was pretty dope here.
That's not just a vote of confidence. It's a recognition of what she's already accomplished and where everyone expects her to go. For every Time magazine that might miss the boat, there are fans, brands, and fellow athletes who recognize her undeniable impact. The controversy isn't slowing her down. If anything, it's fueling that never-satisfied mindset that's defined her career so far. And you know what's legendary? The way Serena Williams spoke up when others stayed silent. When Time magazine snubbed Clark, Serena didn't just notice, she called it out. That's what the greats do. They recognize greatness coming up behind them.
Somebody said, I don't know why we even support Time anyway. They purposely left her off to engage publicity.
The beauty of Clark's story isn't about magazine covers or commercials. It's about a player who's rewriting what's possible. The criticism, the praise, none of it matters when you're focused on your own journey. Watch what happens next. Clark isn't chasing validation from publications or approval from critics. She's chasing greatness, period. And that's why we can't look away.